can find us on Facebook, Legal Elbow Radio. You can find Dan, MMA Aftermath. You can find us at legalelbowradio.com. Little pre-fight action for you guys, UFC 144. I'm going to jump right into it, though. Good to be back. I haven't seen you guys in a while. You guys look great. Yushin Okami taking on Tim Bosch. I think it should be a pretty good fight. Obviously, I'm going to weigh in the area of Yushin Okami. I don't know. Anderson Silva, in my opinion, Yushin Okami versus Anderson Silva was, obviously it was kind of a joke, but not taking anything away from Okami. I just haven't really been all that impressed with him. Maybe, in a match with Anderson Silva, and as of the last, 5-6 years, how can you really look that impressive against him? Some guys have, yeah, but it's not easy. You know what I mean? Yushin Okami did not look that impressive in that fight. Tim Bosch doing really well. Pretty decent on the ground. Kind of pretty good in a lot of areas, but not real solid. And I'd say predominantly his striking is what's really been working for him. But hopefully he can make it work against Okami. I'm leaning towards Okami for that fight. Moving along though, Joe Lozon taking on Anthony Pettis, and that fight in particular is brought to you by Bud Light. Lozon pulls off a wicked, just an awesome triangle submission, and I think this is an awesome matchup. It's a cool matchup because you got two guys that are really, really fast. Both very limber strong guys. Both really, really good on the ground. It just makes for a great battle. Could make for a pretty much straight up stand up fight. It might not go to the ground at all because they might respect each other's groundwork too much. You never know. That happens a lot. We see that a lot. So, but kind of a pick, man. I really don't know, man. Anthony Pettis. I don't want to say Anthony Pettis has done bad, but he hasn't looked as good, as sharp as he normally is on the big stage. So I'm sure that has a little bit to do with it. Plus, a little step up in competition, maybe. I'm gonna kind of weigh in the area of a Lozon victory. This is a fight you really don't know. You can't call it for sure. That's for damn sure. And it's crazy how fights they're all getting to be that way, to where it's so tough to call. You know what I mean? A lot of them are so tough to call. Certain fights you're pretty damn sure, like Overeem versus Brock. Not ragging on Brock or nothing like that, but I really just thought, man, I'd say up until the last couple of days, I thought, what if Brock does get him on his back? What's Overeem going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to, triangle, or with a neck the size of Brock's? Who's going to be able to triangle him? But no, I don't know. Just an example though. But moving along, Jake Shields taking on Akiyama. When I first thought about this fight, I thought, okay, Akiyama, I really didn't think has really looked all that impressive lately. I don't want to knock the guy, sexy whatever. But I just really haven't, not like he's got to impress me or something, but I just really haven't been that impressed with his last few performances. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the type of matchup he's been in, or, the last couple matchups have just been bad for him or something. I don't know. But, of course, the last few matchups have been bad for Jake Shields as well. So, this could be a better matchup than I'm thinking. But, if Jake Shields were to lose this fight, he might be on his way out of UFC. Because with Jake Shields' track record, I don't see... Akiyama shouldn't beat him. In my opinion. Akiyama shouldn't beat him. But if he does, some miracle event he does, it's not going to be looking good for Jake Shields, man. That's for damn sure. I'm going to go... Like I said, I'm picking Jake Shields, but Akiyama, I haven't been that impressed with, like I said, the last couple fights. Hopefully he can change that. Some people go through dry spells, you know what I mean? We've all seen it, but two former guys from Pride, Czech Congo, taking on Mark Hunt. Both kickboxing backgrounds, basically. So this could get really ugly if it stays a stand-up match. The thing that really sucks about Chet Congo is he's starting to get better at wrestling. I mean, his last few fights have showed little glimpses of wrestling here and there. He's shown us that he has worked his ground game, at least trained and stuff like that. I don't know what fight in particular that he started really showing his ground ability, but so if this were to go to the ground, I would probably weigh in the area of a Congo. But they're both stand-up guys, and I would bet 9-10 that this will probably stay a stand-up fight. I mean, unless Congo is just getting his ass beat or something like that and just says, fuck it, I'm taking this down. How often do we see that? You know what I mean? But hey, it could be a game plan for Congo. You never know. It could be that time where it's like, okay, maybe this time we make some changes. This guy's got bricks for fucking hands. If you guys remember, Mark Hunt's got some guy can throw some leather. I'm gonna go for Mark Hunt. I'm gonna say Mark Hunt the upset, but obviously, man, I could be wrong. I'm not gonna go ahead and say for sure, definitely he's gonna win. I'm gonna go ahead and give Mark Hunt the edge. I think if he rocks Congo, he's got just as much power as Barry does. I think Mark Hunt does. And Pat Barry had Congo on Queer Street, but Congo came back, and I don't think Congo will be able to come back as easy on Mark Hunt and rock Hunt. You know what I mean? Like he did with Pat Barry. That's just my opinion, though. I could be totally wrong. Who knows? But moving along, Ryan Darth Bader taking on Quentin Rampage Jackson. I'm going to have to, if not by decision, by knockout, I'm going to have to weigh in the area of Rampage Jackson. Bader's got some good stand-up, and I'll leave it at good. It definitely needs improvement. His stand-up looked really good until he gets two guys that are, really up there, or were on their way up there and are up there now. When he fought John Jones, John Jones made him look like a second grader. It made him look like an amateur. Not to rag on the guy, man. It's just when you get in there with somebody that is just that much more advanced than you are, it makes you look elementary, man. It really does. But I think Bader with his losses that he's had, he's learned. He's learning from them. You know what I mean? At least. But yeah, I got to pick Rampage Jackson. I think it's either going to go decision. He's going to do enough to beat him up for 3 rounds. I don't see Bader taking Jackson down real easily. I could be wrong about that, but it's hard to say, man. Really, I think it'll be a stand-up fight more than it will be a ground fight, obviously, because Rampage likes to keep it there. But Rampage has said in his last few fights, post-fight interviews and shit like that, people have been doubting my wrestling. I've been working on my wrestling a lot. Maybe we'll see some of it. Who knows? We shall see. Rampage Jackson, 2nd round knockout or a decision. That's my pick. Frankie Edgar taking on Ben Henderson, the main event of the night. I don't know why. It's just not a super excitable fight to me. I'm not really all that excited about it in terms of a main event. Maybe it's because I haven't been, keeping a close eye on these guys, like I am a fan of some of the other guys, But, it is a great fight, and it will be a great fight. Edge, I would say Edge. It's really close, in my opinion, really close. Frankie Edgar, I would say, will have the speed. Might not be by much, but I think he will have the speed, be able to get in and get out, get moving. Riding that friggin' bicycle, man. Riding the bicycle. Nice strikes while backing up, moving to the side, side to side. He's just wrecking you, getting in and out, but Ben Henderson is good everywhere, man. So it's really tough to call, man. Really tough to call. I would say in the stand-up, Frankie's got the edge on the ground. Definitely Ben Henderson's got the edge. So depending on where the fight goes, that's how it's looking, man, for sure. Just in other news, though, I want to throw a couple of things at you guys. You got the new guy. The guy, he almost reminds me of like a young Machida or something. A young, hungry Machida. Stephen Thompson. He just knocked some new guy out. You know, they were both making their debuts, I think. The other guy might have had one other fight in UFC, but I think they were both making their debuts, and I can't remember the guy's name. But beautiful, the guy's standing to his side, so he can't really see Stephen's legs so well. Stephen's got a, you know, roundhouse kick coming right to the chin. You know, this is after a couple of shots. I think he came in with a right and a left or something like that, and right after that, it was like his knee comes up and then the leg comes around, the shin comes around, and just kick, perfect, man, right on the chin, unconscious on his feet, hits the deck, over. If you haven't seen that fight, man, look for it. I don't know where the hell you're gonna find it. You know, obviously a UFC fight on maybe highlights or something, man. Look for Stephen Thompson highlight, you know, UFC 142 or 143, I think it was. Awesome knockout. Well, anyway, this guy is taking on Matt Brown. Matt Brown's coming off a knockout win, but before that, I don't, you know, he's another guy I haven't paid a lot of close attention to, but it's like every time I see the guy fight, it's like this 13-11 or something like that. And I thought, geez, you know, is Dana going to hang on to this guy until he's 13-14 or something? You know, he's well into a losing record. It just seemed like Matt Brown was just on a really bad road, you know, and he could not get out of it. I mean, he just could not get a win. But, I mean, he seems like he's been doing better lately. I think this is going to knock his dick in the dirt. I mean, honest opinion. He's a guy that can keep on going and keep on coming at you, but I think he's going to get knocked the fuck out in this one, I think. Because this new guy, sick talent, in my opinion, man. Sick talent. I think he will probably move on to be just taking a wild, you know, I mean, it's a wild guess. You know what I mean? Wild prediction, if you will. You know, I would say his instinct is almost maybe a little bit better than Machida's, maybe. I don't even know, man. I don't know if I want to say that, but, you know, dead even or better. You know what I mean? It just sick instinct. Knowing what you're going to do, just a split second before you're going to do it. It's like he reads your body and gets in there and hits you first or counters. And it's just sick, man. The guy is sick. If it gets out of the first round, not by much. If it gets out of the first round was a feel-out process. And I don't think this guy really needs much of a feel-out process. A lot of natural talent. I mean, what was he, 62 fights before he entered MMA? 62 victories. The guy's never lost yet. You know, and those were karate fights, amateur MMA fights, shit like that. No losses. None. No losses yet. You know what I mean? And obviously, he's going to lose. There's going to be a time where everybody loses. This weekend, I'll probably be doing a post-fight. Probably either sometime next week or probably Sunday if I roll out and I feel up to it, man. I'll probably do it then. But Monday, Tuesday, you know, probably somewhere around there, man. I'll see you guys then. Take it easy.